Live from Cabot, Arkansas. It's, what is it? It's the Ramsey Show pre-show chat slash Ramsey Coach with Coach Steve Money. And let's make whoops. Make sure the stream is going. I'm looking at my TV over here. Stream is going, and there's sound, so we are all good. So I will be turning that way every so often to look to see if anybody's chatting. I don't know if people have the day off today. Also, there's an Entree Leadership premiere that's happening right now, so people may not be in the chat. So we shall see how that goes. I'm Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. You can also see in the right corner of my YouTube, the green YouTube banner there, that the link is right there, so you don't have to even type it in. I've done all the work for you, and Dave has done all the work for you as far as figuring out the steps to go, and we'll get into that in just a second. You can email me about Ramsey stuff, anything on my YouTube channel right there, CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Donations go to PayPal.me/CoachSteveMoney. You can add me on the gram, Coach Steve Money, and of course this YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. Let's get rid of that out the way. Nope, that's the wrong thing. One day I'll have a producer or something, probably not. Alrighty, here we go. Look past the bright light of the webcam. Alrighty, okay. So yeah, there's the link right there that I was talking about previously. Okay, baby steps. Again, Dave's figured all this out. He went bankrupt, lost everything 35 years ago, something like that. And he decided debt wasn't a good thing, and so he decided to avoid that going forward. And he figured out the best plans for people in debt would be these baby steps. So baby step 1, you save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. And what that does is keep you from, I gotta have new tires, or I gotta have this. This is an emergency. I'll just put it on the card, and see, that's to keep you from putting it on the card. Then you just use your emergency fund for that, and then you, after that, you top your emergency fund back up to the $1,000. Maybe step 2, pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball. That is the smallest to largest. And that works best because that gives you more satisfaction as you are able to pay off more debts more quickly, rather than if you use what's called the debt avalanche, which goes by interest rate. Almost nothing in the Ramsey plan is concerned with interest rate. Where were we? Baby step 3, save 3 after you pay off all your non-mortgage debt. Baby step 3, save 3 to 6 months of expenses and a fully funded emergency fund. A lot of people confused about that. How much do I need for that? Well, what anybody else has doesn't matter, because it's 3 to 6 months of your personal expenses. So I don't know how much, without talking to you first, I don't know how much your expenses are. But then it's a matter of what you want. What will make you sleep better at night? You know, if 3.5 months will make you sleep better than just 3, that's fine. If you want to do all 6, that's fine as well. So you take whatever number of months you want, and 3 is fine if you have no job or life drama. 3 months is just fine. So you take anywhere, whatever number, 3.5, 4.6, 6, and multiply that by your monthly expenses. And that's how much total you would need for that. Let's see, what else was I going to say about that? And the reason you don't have more than 6 months of expenses and a fully funded emergency fund is because Dave wants you to be able to take care of the rest of the baby steps. So if you're saving for years of emergency fund, then you're not doing these other things. So baby steps 1, 2, and 3 should be done one at a time in a row here. And then baby steps 4, 5, and 6 are all at the same time in a row here. Or in order. Still in order, but all at the same time. So that's invest 15% of your household income in retirement. A lot of people are confused about this too. They think they have to have a big lump sum to put into it. Now this assumes that you've just finished your fully funded emergency fund and you have no cash laying around because it's all in the emergency fund and it's all been used to pay off your debt. So this assumes that you will start now, out of your next check, you will start investing 15% of your gross household income in retirement. And so it's fine if you don't have a lump sum to put in all at the same time. And it's better to, a lot of people think, oh, I'll save a month and then put it in there. It's better the earlier you get the investment in. So if you can do it every week, fine. If you get paid every 2 weeks, that's fine. That's better again than waiting a month and then doing it. Let's see, baby step 5, if you would like to, if you have children and would like to help them with college, this is where you do that. You do not have to do that. You can make them forage for their own college money via scholarships and working, that's fine. Or you can do a combination of helping them and have them do that as well. If you do not have children though, or if for some reason you choose not to help them, then you can just skip step 5. And step 6 is paying your home off early. We'll probably run into some questions about that. Almost always do. People don't understand. People don't get it. Well, why would I pay off the home early when it's like at a 2.5, 3% interest when I can earn 5% in a CD or something? Why would you do that? Well, because you're not earning 5% because you got to take away the 2.5% that you're losing out on in interest on your house. So that brings that down to 2.5. And as far as what amount it's applying to, is going to be different, but you can work out the math there. That's much more advanced math to figure that out, to compare that. But basically, when you are paying interest on a mortgage and then you're trying to invest more rather than pay off the house earlier, you are trying to fill a bucket that has a hole in it, and the hole is leaking this mortgage interest. And so the idea also is having a mortgage is debt, it's risk. And so Dave's plan is risk averse. So the idea is that you pay your home off early, and then guess what? You have your entire income, other than monthly expenses, you have that available to use. That is your greatest wealth building tool. And then you have that available to do baby step 7, which is build wealth and give a lot of it away. Alrighty, have a little agua. What up, Sid? Sid in the chat. Alright, so she's familiar with the baby steps. She's heard of them, so she didn't miss anything. Let's see. What can we do? Before I jumped in with the Reddit questions, I thought I'd take a look at the Google. This is from Friday. As you can see, great day. Everything up over 1%. All the major indices, which is plural for index. Russell Small Cap 1.05. Dow 1 even. 1.3 for the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ kicking bottom with 2.19%. Everybody excited about the AI, or at least the traders are. And look at on Friday, to look at the most followed single stocks on Google. You got the Apple, you get Microsoft over 2%, the Amazon at 4.44%. Meta Platform, the artist formerly known as Facebook, 3.7, and the Tesla at 4.72. So that's a big reason. Those are a big reason why the NASDAQ up so high. Let's see. In futures, market closed today for Memorial Day. But futures they're in the 0.2%. Except for the S&P and Dow, and the NASDAQ 0.34. All right, so hopefully a good last day of. I believe it's the last day. What is today? Today is the 29. Yeah, 29. Oh, 2 more days. So Tuesday and Wednesday are two last days of May. That's right. May has 31 days. Okay, let's see what else. Talked about this on the last one, which was when? Saturday night. A lot of people always call and ask, or in the Ramsey chat, they have issues with the amount of interest Dave said, or the amount of returns that Dave said the market does. And right here in his investment calculator down here at the bottom, you have to fill out what you think your annual return would be. And it says this is the return your investment will generate over time. Historically, the 30-year return of the S&P 500 has been roughly 10 to 12%. And people are like, no, wait. There's inflation, and there's blah, 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 blah. And yeah, that's great. I mean, I don't, life is too short for that. So unless you're gonna every financial thing that you do, if you go to get a loaf of bread from the store, unless you're gonna figure out what the inflation is, so you can think about whether you want to buy that or not. Think about how inflation affects that, then. Unless you want to do that, why don't you just live your life and make as much money as you can, and then you don't have to worry about including all that, or the position of the sun and so forth. But anyway, here's our recent article on Fool.com, which is the Motley Fool financial site, and it says it says the S&P 500 is headed for new highs. One solid index fund buying. I don't know which index fund they're talking about. I never bothered to read that far, but it says right here the S&P has returned 10% annually over the long term, meaning 115 invested weekly would be worth $1 million after 3 decades. So that's basically saying just what Dave said. Alrighty, so this is reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. It's not run by Ramsey Solutions, it is run by fans, so they do let people criticize Dave's plan, Dave himself, the show, whatever they want to do. If a thread gets too contentious with people arguing back and forth, they will lock it down. But otherwise, like I said, it's a fairly open forum, and props to them. They let me put a link once upon a time, many years ago. What, about 2 years? We'll see. If you scroll down to my music playlist on my youtube.com/Coach Steve Money, you will see my Ramsey-centric songs, and this says a year ago. I feel like it was longer than that. Let's see when it was. Oh, it doesn't say the date on it. Oh, let's see. 1 year ago. All right. No, but anyway, I feel like it was longer than a year ago, but so anyway, the Dave Ramsey Baby Step song, the John Deloney song, me reacting to John Deloney reacting to the John Deloney song, and of course the Rachel Cruz song. And I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz. Not only the divas can rip off Elton John, I can do it as well. Alrighty. Oh, a little bit more agua. Okay, take an account name 37 says, why does it seem like everyone calling into the show makes so much? Makes me feel like I'm doing wrong. Well, one of the things is they live somewhere that people get paid more, like on the coast, like California, New York. But in addition to that, they have a higher cost of living, so that can make it work out. Also, sometimes it's just you're just a single individual, and the caller is has a spouse, and so it's them working together as a team, and so their household income is going to be more than generally than a single person makes. So and the people do often comment about that it's hard for them to relate to people making that amount. You also have to consider, though, that in addition to making more, though, they often have made more of a hole for themselves, and they are way more in debt than a single person or somebody that makes less money. All right, this is a low_entrepreneur 370. Should we wait to buy a home? 29 female and my fiance 31M are getting married in a few weeks. Congratulations. And that's 22 days ago, so probably already got married. Congratulations. I'm so antsy to buy a house. Too antsy maybe. And start building equity. So we've been looking at houses for the past few months. Very excited. Spent some time on the Zillow, probably. We were pre-approved and working with a realtor. It's realtor, not realtor. The A is on this side of the L, not the other side. It's realtor. But I know it probably makes more sense to wait to buy a home given our upcoming wedding and current debt. Yes. Refer back to the baby steps 3B, and as Sid knows, I'm planning on making a video about the missing baby steps, and one of them is 3B, which is save for down payment, and that comes here. Now, if you start the baby steps and you already have a house, you might be able to keep it. You might not have to sell it unless it is unless you're house poor, unless it's way too much of a monthly payment for the mortgage for you. But if you do not have a house already, then you wait until after baby step 3 is done before you begin saving for that down payment. So this would be, you're doing it wrong if you're going to try to do this, which you got pre-approved and working with a realtor already. And so, yeah, I know it probably makes more sense. And also, not only that, to wait, but not only that, but also that's Dave's advice. Let's see, gross income 216. Speaking of people making a lot of money, between the two of us, student loans 39 left, down from 72 2 years ago. Excellent. So they've been paying on it. Have 20,000 to throw at it when payments start back up. Hoping for, okay, they must be the people that are saving money. Waiting for the government to save them from it. And then if the government doesn't save them, I don't know when they decide that, but then that 20,000 gets thrown back up at it. Hoping for 10K forgiveness and putting 3,300 a month towards it. So should be gone in a few months for down payment. Closing cost 50,000. So again, if you have that money saved up, Dave is going to tell you to pay off that debt. 2 cars paid off. No dependents. Would be looking in the 300 to 400 range. Currently living in a 1-bedroom apartment for $1,484 a month with 2 dogs and running out of space. How you running out of space? It's not unless you plan on buying more dogs. You getting more dogs? How are you running out of space? We put in one offer for a house and didn't get it. I know it makes more sense to wait. Again, said that twice, not letting it stop her. But it's hard to stay disciplined when we're so close to being debt free. Yeah, and you get that house and then that's gonna be further off. How many people waited to buy it doesn't matter how many people did it. Okay? All that matters is what you do until their debt was completely paid off. Well, that's the amount of people that are actually following Dave's plan instead of doing something different, which is what this person wants to do. So said twice, it makes more sense to wait. Given upcoming wedding and current debt, said that twice. So she knows. She just wants, she's trying to justify it and wants somebody to tell her that it's okay. I will not be doing that. There you go. If house ownership is pressing on you, why not eliminate a wedding party, get married at the courthouse, and put all that to house or your debt instead? Exactly. Wants everything though. She wants everything. Alrighty. Again, good luck to them. They probably are already married at this point. 1966 Strat. Says car sob story of a co-worker. Dude left to get a subway meal. Watches another car hit his late model car with payments in the rear end. They exchanged phone numbers. No driver's license, no tag number, no nothing. Other driver confessed no insurance. Anyone see a problem yet? Of course. He's not getting an answer on the phone, nor is his insurance company. That's why you call the police instead of just exchange phone numbers. He may never pick up an unknown number again. That's right. Even if that was the right number. That could have been the wrong number. Suspect member got blocked before he left the parking lot. Please boy and girl, protect yourself. As soon as you know everyone is alright, start taking pictures of the other car, get car tag, model, VIN number, etc. Anything you can. Yes, call the police, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no. Exactly. Insight Discern. Interesting name. Paying off debt by balance transfers at 0% interest. All right, a lot of people do this little maneuver. And this, let's see, okay, I'll get this at 0% for X amount of months. And I'll pay debt with higher interest off. And then when that's almost gonna be the end of the 0% interest term, we'll find another 0% interest term and keep moving it. And that you're moving it, you're kind of playing the shell game with your debt instead of just paying it off. This makes you think you've done something, but you really haven't. I mean, you saved a little bit of interest, and that's it. So let's see. Have this home improvement loan. Should not do home improvement with loans. You do home improvement with cash. Made my first payment, and the statement says all went to interest and nothing to principal. It's ridiculous. Well, that's why you don't get a loan for that. Side to balance transfer, blah, blah, blah. Has anyone used this style of paying off debt to keep interest at a minimum? I did it recently, pay off $27K debt, and it worked fairly well, although I feel it is a bit risky. Yes, debt is risky, and so that's why Mr. Ramsey does not agree with having it. That's why he thinks you should, instead of moving it around and playing the shell game with the debt, you should just pay it off. Friends that don't hug, seen that name before. Call her on food stamps. Was listening to the show the other day. Woman called in saying her tip to save money on groceries was food stamps. Then she went on to ask questions about her husband getting a $75K settlement from an injury and wanted to buy a home. The call didn't sit right with me. Does anyone else think that if you are struggling to feed your family, then maybe buying a home isn't the right goal at the moment? Of course it's not. Anyone else have thoughts on the call? Kind of wish Rachel asked why the caller wasn't working. I'm assuming maybe because they have 2 kids. I don't know. That could be because almost always the daycare is gonna make a minimum wage or around there job is not gonna do you any good, because all that money will go right back out for daycare. So it's better if the non-working spouse stays home with kids in that case. But yeah, I didn't quite hear that one. I remember it happening, but I was working and paying attention to the chat instead when that one was on. But yeah, I mean, people want to do, people always want to buy a house before it's too early. Of course. From Well Oreo. Oh, Rio. What's in the middle? The white stuff. Baby step 3B flare. And again, baby step 3B right there. After you have your fully funded emergency fund, then you start to save a down payment for a house. And so, anyone else hate the debt-free screams mic? What's wrong with it? I don't know if I never noticed before or if they got new mics. But lately, everyone on their debt-free stream has dry mouth, and you can just hear the smacking in the mic. I did probably do a fair bit of that myself on this show, so apologies for that. Bad AMSMR, can't even know it's debt-free stream, but I should note I mainly listen on the podcast version now. Anyone else? Okay. I mean, I've heard it. I don't let it. I let some stuff. I am concerned about spelling and grammar in the chat and stuff, but like the smacking there, it doesn't bother me that much. They're only on for like one segment, and then it goes back to the other show. The hosts. Broken_loot. LUTE. Dave, you need $1,000 garage sale car. Also, Dave, on the same call, take your piece of junk to scrap yard. They'll give you $2,500 for that thing. Really? Probably both. Exaggerating at that point, but The amounts really are secondary to what you should have. You should have a very cheap car instead of an expensive car with car payments if you're paying off debt. And if it's on the same car, take your piece of junk. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember hearing that, and so I don't know what the situation was. Why you would need a junk car? Why you already have a junk car? I don't know. Unless it was in an accident or something like that. Don't know. Flashy statement 836. Struggle to vent. I want you to vent. Does anyone else struggle to vent to friends about the struggles of wanting to live a debt-free life and trying to get debt-free? It's hard for me to talk about with friends and family because they are all in debt and just think it's a part of life, so they don't understand. Yes. And that is why you're in this forum here, this Dave Ramsey subreddit. This is why my friends and I go into the Ramsey Show chat to be with people that are doing the same thing that you're doing. And so they understand. They understand all that. Normal people, you're not normal anymore if you're doing this stuff. And so all your friends are probably normal because, yeah, they're in debt and just think of it as a part of life. Again, I was told to, had to be once a week that I'll always be in debt. I was told that by my parents. Always be in debt. Always have a car payment. That's just the way it goes. That is just very, very normal. But we're trying to do stuff that isn't normal, and it is very, very common to not have anybody to talk about it with. And so that's why, again, you can go to the Ramsey Show YouTube chat, normally posted around before 10 a.m., closer to 9 a.m. usually, weekdays. Today may be different. Let's see. Let me refresh and see if it did get posted yet. No, not posted yet. Again, Dave's EntreLeadership episode was premiering earlier. That may still be going on. But yeah, look for people that are doing it. Also, it may be worth it to you to take Financial Peace University. Because there, whether it's virtual, online, or whether it's in person, you do get the camaraderie of other people doing this stuff, and you may make friends. And then, of course, those people you could, what do you mean those people? Those people you could certainly talk about it with. Q_Chipmunk, what are some uncomfortable truths regarding personal finance? I don't know if it's uncomfortable, but, probably the most uncomfortable one would be the problems in the mirror. Stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror. I can't even remember how it goes now. If I do an after show today, I'm going to try to sing Anti-Hero by the Tay-Tay, the T-Swizzle. Let's see. But yeah, looking in the mirror, that's where the problem is. And it's not uncomfortable, but it is a truth. Personal finance is 80% behavior, just 20% head knowledge. Let's see. For example, no human is capable of responsibly using credit cards in the long run and coming out ahead. That is probably not true. Some people have probably been lucky or just refrained from using it other than buying stuff that they would have bought anyway, and they never, ever, ever, ever bought anything extra just to try to rack up miles or something like that. It's possible that happened. I would say highly possible. Probably, at least one Probably more, but it's probably not a high percentage. It is playing with snakes. It absolutely is. And the credit card companies are smarter than you are at it. That much is certain. Edit per Dave Ramsey. What? I mean, what Dave thinks are uncomfortable truths. Yeah, I mean, it's your fault. You're the one that signed for those students' loans. You're the one that signed for the credit card, so you owe all the debt. Yeah, but the biggest one I think, is that the problem is in the mirror, if there is a problem. Which normally people seeking out Dave people do have a problem. Normally in debt seeking out Dave, but some not. Some doing pretty well and just may have to adjust what they're doing a little bit. All right, that's from Skylar Bluestone. Step 1 flare again. That's save $1,000. You start our emergency fund, so just starting out on this plan. Finally committing after years of procrastination. I know it's going to be a challenge. Excellent. Ready to take on this financial journey. Any advice or success stories from fellow Dave Ramsey fans? There are millions of success stories of people that have done it. And so you absolutely can do it. You just have to, you're committing to it. So that's what you have to do. You just have to do that and make it happen. I've been a fan of the show for a while now. Been using envelope system to manage my finances. However, I made the decision to take things up a notch, okay, and go all in. That's just doing it regularly. Going all in is doing it the regular way, not taking it up a notch, but I guess it's a notch up from where you were. Currently I have a truck I owe $18K on, but I just bought a hoopty and plan on selling the truck. Great. This is the first big step for me. I'm a bit lost on what to do. How do I go about selling my truck while still owing on it? And where would be the best place to sell it? Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Best place to buy and the best place to sell are both private sale. You will get more for your car via private sale than the dealer will give you, and you will get a better deal from a private sale than you will from the dealer that the dealer would give you on a new to you truck or car. So no new vehicles unless of course any vehicle you pay cash for it, and you got to be a millionaire in order to afford the depreciation on a new car. So, but how you do this while still owing on it? How do you sell the truck? Well, you owe $18K on it. If you can get $18K, great. If you can't, if you can get $15K, then you're $3,000 short. And guess what? Dave is just fine with you replacing your $18,000 car loan with a $3,000 personal loan to get rid of the $18,000 car loan. So that's one of the only times that, or probably the only time that Dave says definitely get a personal loan for that, rather than taking out a loan. The other thing, he will not yell at you for getting a mortgage. He'd rather you pay completely in cash for your house, but he does not expect you to do that. He will not yell at you. Yeah, so that's how you do that. You would get a loan for the difference. And again, a $3,000 loan is smaller and better than having an $18,000 loan. All right, advice for inheritance. This is from Betty Rumpelstiltskin. I think I saw something else from that person. I don't think we did this one. What would Dave do? Flare? Boom, 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 boom. Here it is. $100,000. What's the best way to hang on to this? You don't hang on to it. I have a small car note, no other bills. Live with my guy and help with household bills. I do not own the home with him. I have a full-time job. Female, 57 years old. Thanks. You would follow the baby steps, which means you get out of debt. So you inherit $100,000. That means the small car note is paid off. And you would have your full emergency fund out of that $100,000. After that, you would begin investing. And you can put since you do have a lump sum, you can max out a Roth IRA. Just for this year. Now that's past tax day, you can't do that. If it was before tax day, you could also do the previous tax year and this year. But at this point, you can only do it for this year. And the rest of it, you can put in a high yield savings account. And then January 1st, though, you can max out again. Check with the full-time job. Check with the employer to see if, in case if you're not investing in their 401k plan, if they have one there. But otherwise, you should be doing 15%. After that, so to run you through the baby steps here, car note was baby step 2, and basically just skipped over the $1,000 since this is all immediately once that $100,000 comes in, because you would have enough to pay off the car note, assuming it's not $100,000. So you'd have enough to pay the car note and have 3 to 6 months of expenses, fully funded emergency fund. And then you would invest 15% of your household income. And doesn't say anything about children. So we'll assume none. As far as like the rest of the money, yeah, you can just hang on to that in case you have to buy a house. Perhaps you'll get married to your guy and then maybe continue living with them or relocate to a house that both of you own, perhaps. North at 885. It looks like student loans are getting canceled 23 days ago. I have not seen it. Dave's a joke for recommending people to pay off. He's not recommending people. He's recommending paying off student loans to people. Recommending people to pay off their student loans when they're paused RN, which is right now for the kids. And the decision was just a few months away. There's nothing that gives any indication that student loans are getting canceled. I don't know what you heard or what you saw on the news or what, but there's no indication that's going to happen. So, good times. Good times. And if it's a joke, if stuff is a joke, if I think thing is a joke, I don't bother going onto a subreddit to comment about it. I just leave it alone and seek out things that I enjoy. Life is too short to seek out things you don't enjoy and things you want to bitch about. Why not seek out something you enjoy and that you like? I'm sure there's a student loan forgiveness subreddit. And then you can be all happy with those people in there. How about that? Need advice. Too much condo. Yep, you can be condo poor too, in addition to house poor. Living above means, question mark. Well, that could be. 28F, California, Taxifornia. That living above means could definitely be happening. 150K a year. 401K is 100K. That part's good. Own condo, 3-bedroom, 2.5. New build, recent purchase, 2022 at $463,000. 423K current mortgage. Paid off 40K of it. Mortgage is $3,200 per month, about 47% of take home. Beep beep beep. That thing should be about 25% of your take home. Total money makeover, Dave says 25 to 35%, but on the show and elsewhere now, they really just hit home with the, or drive home rather, the 25% number, just trying to keep you to that. And as close to that as possible. Bought at 4.2 interest rate, doesn't matter. Rest of the HOA, yeah, that will do it. Only put 5.5 down. Beep, 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 beep. Should be at least 10% down for a new homeowner, first-time homeowner. It's high because of HOA and PMI. Yeah, PMI, private mortgage insurance, and that is insurance for not you if the house. Something happens with the house, that is for the lender. If you don't pay is what that is. And so you're paying for the mortgage insurance, which is not even for you, it's for the lender. So savings rate about 30%. Well, that's good. Not a spender. That's still too much house, though. And I mean, the problem, anywhere else, this wouldn't be a problem. It's because you're in California. Granted, you may not make 150K a year doing what you're doing in other parts of the country, so don't know here. Let's see. Credit cards, they use them for points and credit score. Pay everything in the month. They use Amex Gold. Not advised at all. Was there a question? What is it? Need advice. Too much condo. Okay. Hopefully used, hopefully 40 plus miles per gallon vehicle. Nothing saved currently. I recently saw that I was paying thousands in interest. Yep, but not even principal for my home. Yep, it's mostly interest at the beginning of your payment cycle. Let's see, I knew this before, but seeing the actual figure freaked me out. Thinking about renting out my house for a few years and get a 1-bedroom, 1.7K for rent approximately. Being a landlord by proxy just because you don't want your condo anymore, not advised. Could also rent a room from family friend for $700, but I also want to have my own space. This will build equity in my home. Everything you're doing here is bad. No cards. Don't debt leverage. Don't use them for points and credit score. You don't need to do any of that. None of that is advised. None of renting your house out for a few years is advised. If you had always wanted to be a landlord, that's a different thing from you suddenly having a condo that you want to try to get rid of or otherwise monetize. So it's not, landlord's not for everybody. And most people think, oh, I'll just have I'll rent it out and the tenant will pay the mortgage. Yep, until the roof breaks, roof leaks, and you have to put a new roof on there. Yep. And then you have you got to pay for that out of your own pocket. I'm going to fix this, make the best financial decisions to make sure I'm set in the future. Well, you could follow the baby steps. Doesn't seem like you're much interested in that. Open to other financial mindset shifts that will benefit me. I would recommend the Ramsey stuff. Hey, you're on the Ramsey subreddit. Maybe you check out his stuff. Just a thought. This from Meta Chicken. One final month of baby step 2. Writing for encouragement. I need you guys to pump up. Pick up the drink right at the wrong time. I need you guys to pump me up. For Saturday Night Live many years ago. 90s, I think. Put me up for this last sprint. We've been in baby step 2 for 4.5 years and paying off $110,000 of student loan debt on a modest income, $75K per year, in a high cost of living area. This is our last month of baby step 2. We have $1,500 left on the debt, and assuming we can stay on track for 4 more weeks, that's quattro, we'll have reached the summit, eaten the whole elephant, whatever metaphor you choose. I keep feeling tempted to derail our progress. Why would you do that with 4 weeks to go? I want new clothes so bad. I want theater tickets, shoes, a coconut custard cake from the bakery across the street. The temptations are everywhere, taunting me. Well, you can certainly do that. You put 4.5 years in. Baby step 2 for 4.5 years. Paid off $110,000 of student loan debt. That would be a shame, but that does happen. People do fall off the wagon. I would say finish out the 4 weeks, and then celebrate with a coconut custard cake from the bakery, and maybe 1 outfit. And then next month, do shoes, and then the month after that, do theater tickets. Not everything all at once is what I would recommend. Hopefully. So this is 25 days ago, so unless this person has fallen off of the wagon, they should be just about done. Hopefully they made it. Retirement help. Count me in 213. Baby step 4, flare, and that, of course, is the correct step to be doing retirement. Baby step 4, invest 15% of your gross household income in retirement. 22, make around $103,000. The job offers TIA 403B. That's probably government of some type. I have invested 15% since December. Do I now open a Roth IRA and invest 15%? Confused on what the next step is. No, because that would be 30%. $15% of December. Okay, well, so what that means is you do it out of each check, and so by the end of the year, it should be 15% of your gross income for the year. Now, if you do that twice, which you probably won't be able to do 15% in a Roth IRA, because a Roth IRA is capped at $6,500 if you are under the age of 50. $7,500 if you are 50 and over. And so hopefully you make more money than that and would not be able to do that. So confused on what the next step is. Well, the next step is 5 and 6. Didn't say anything about a house. Maybe this will be a good one to see. Only 29 comments. This will be a good one to look through to see if there's more information. But generally, if you're already investing 15%, then you don't need to open a Roth. You should do match first, and then Roth secondly. And then your 403b, unless it's a Roth 403b. I don't know if that exists. Let's see. Roth 403b. And again, that's gonna, yep. So it does exist. That's just gonna depend on whether the employer offers it. Where are we at? Right here. Okay. But yeah, so you would, again, well, let's see if, generally what the next step is, continue the baby steps. But let's see, I would follow these steps. Is that the baby steps? I wonder where that is. No, that's taking somewhere else. That's taken somewhere else for environmental scale. Not recommending Ramsey stuff. Horrible chart, horrible ideas for this. Okay, great. Let's see. Are they hypothetical? They're literally the baby steps expanded on. They don't need to be expanded on. This is the wrong place to be promoting low interest debt. Yep. Promoting, okay. Alrighty, I was hoping for some OP, but it's just back and forth on that so far. Let's see. OP, so I would lower my 15% to say 5% and take the other 10% and invest in a Roth and look to max that out. The hospital I work at doesn't match, I believe. Okay, we'll definitely make sure of that. But then yes, because the Roth would be better than just a regular 403b, and also you would have maybe more investment options than in your 403b. Boom, boom, boom. Alrighty. So the OP opened a Roth IRA. And of course the difference, Roth accounts, you pay taxes on the contributions. You've already paid taxes on the contributions out of your check. And so they go in already taxed, and then you get tax-free growth. And the idea is that the growth will be way more than the contribution. So you're paying less tax now and than you would later, because there will be no tax later. Promoted. That confused me there. I thought that looks weird. Half the calls. I'm a multimillionaire. Am I alright? Dumbest show ever. No, I don't think they really say are they alright. Some of them may. Some of them may. It's hard to look at your own situation without like being blinded because you're too close to the situation. People do have issues on that, and people, especially a good portion probably of people that have a lot of money, they got all that money by not wanting to spend money, and so they need help in spending money as far as justifying it to themselves, etc., etc. Housing 25%. That's from one Lamero. To keep this short, I purchased a condo prior to learning about Dave. Too bad. 385K right outside of New York. Mortgages 2410. I know, very dumb of me. I get that now. Well, you did it before you learned about Dave. You were doing the normal stuff. So, I could say I'm debt-free otherwise. Okay, great. Have my emergency fund set. Great. Now investing 15%. So baby step 6. Yes. These are my income and percent. Should be percent. That gives them my mortgage. Probably doesn't matter. Get contractual raises. Is it smart to stay, or should I look to sell and restart? Granted, one-bedroom condos go for about $260 to $330K, and average one-bedroom rent is $1,900. Edit for all responsive. All I see are pretty positive comments. Good. I will be continuing to keep the condo and keep working hard. It might just be my mindset that needs adjustment. Yeah, being used to having all my bills under 20% of my income to moving into the condo 6 months ago, and now with mortgage and all bills, also investing 15%, and you probably bought furniture, maybe that kind of thing for the house. Push that number 35 to 70, depending on which scenario from blah, 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 blah. And just look forward to the future with pay raises. Yeah, I don't really. Let's see. I don't see that. The problem is it's New York City. You may also be making more than that, more than you would anywhere else, but you're going to pay more housing for that as well. So let's see, minimum basic income. $1,900 to $2,300 for average bedroom rent, and what is it? It is anywhere from $500 to $110 more to be having your condo instead. Okay, so 480. Oh, so 49% is the amount of the mortgage. Yeah, I mean, that's too much, but oh, you are renting out a room as well, so I guess you can take that out of it. For 1,000, which is 30%, so that takes you to 19%. I see what they're doing there. All right. I mean, that seems to be okay, and maybe you keep that up. The renting out the room and working overtime, and before you know it, maybe you'll have enough equity in it where it will be. I mean, the payment will still be more. Even if you don't rent the room, the payment's going to still be above the 25%, but you'll be in a better spot because of equity. That's interesting. Contractual raises through the next 5 years. I mean, you can always try it, and if it doesn't work, then sell it. But I don't know what else you're going to do staying in New York. That might be about the best situation you can have, living just outside of New York City while still being able to work in New York City. So, I mean, you could do either way. Yeah, you can see how it goes, and if you have any problems, then of course you can always sell it and address that. And of course, if you are doing baby step 6, then that means all extra money is going to pay that off, which further would make the equity deal better, and that's going to make it, don't know, didn't say how much you put down, so may also have PMI on that, and that could come off once you get to 20% equity. Yeah, but probably, I mean, it seems like you got it in hand, although, again, 49, 49% is, high, obviously, being almost half of your income. But since you are working the overtime and you're renting out that room, that certainly helps. So yeah, that is a tough one, especially if you're bound and determined to stay. And the smart thing probably be to move elsewhere. See if you can get that same kind of income, not on the coasts where it would go a lot further as far as your housing dollar, etc., etc. But if you're going to stay in New York, this is probably the best way to do it. Just keep working the overtime and get that thing paid off as quickly as possible. Jack and Blake, compound interest. What? Oh, Jack and Blake, and then I can't remember if it's in Total Money Makeover or if it's just in the Financial Peace University materials, but it's basically Jack invests for 10 years earlier than Blake starts, and then Jack doesn't invest another penny, and Blake invests more. Again, he invests more starting 10 years later, but he invests more per month. Jack doesn't invest another penny after that 10 years, and Blake never catches up to Jack, is what that is. Shows the power of compound interest, right? My question is, what would I be investing in? Would I just be putting a set amount of money a month or a year into a CD or something? I'm looking to start soon. No, that would be you're investing for retirement. Now you can use the market to invest for a purchase, but you gotta have a 5-year time period because the market may be down right when you want the money. So, and for that, Dave recommends S&P 500 index fund for saving for a purchase, for retirement. He recommends managed funds because 40% of those beat the index, and some of those beat the index even after you take the fees out. You just got to find them. That's all. Let's see, but yeah, that's not just, so you saw the picture, but didn't pay attention to any of the rest of the class or anything. Although they don't get that much, as far as I recall, they don't get that much into it, but that's not the IRA, yeah. Individual retirement account, yes, Roth IRA. But again, that's only $6,500, so it depends on how much you make. But the picture is designed to make you want to start, to teach you the benefits that you don't make up for lost time in the market, and that is absolutely true. But the baby steps supersede that. You do not invest before baby step 4. So you are doing baby steps 1, 2, and 3. You do all of that even though you're not getting the benefit of investing. And of course, the reason before that is, again, my analogy where you are trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. So if you start investing early, you're not only losing money to the interest on the debt, also you are not putting as much to the debt, so that's going to make that process take longer. And so that's just not how it works. It's an order like this for a reason. Dave Ramsey's a bad word in the house. Mr. Moonlight 87, sure. Post from AITA, that's MIDA. Would I be the A if I began a doctoral program against my spouse's wishes, I bet? I think Sid talked a little bit about this one before, I believe. That depends. Seems like they're not having any. Is there no room for nuance? No, there's not. No, there's not. If you want nuance, if you have to be an individual, if you have to, you just do your own thing. Then go ahead. You don't have to get Dave's permission or anybody else's permission to do what you want to do with your own money. So yeah. All right. Well, we got to the part where, as you can see, there are light blue, so that means I've clicked on them before. So let's go even further back. I planned ahead and found that spot. Alrighty. Oh, what time is it? Let's check to see. 9:19, so it's 10:19 a.m. I don't know if the Ramsey show is going to be new today or not. Might be a replay. Let's see if that is still, looks like it's not posted yet, so I'll keep going. I don't have a problem with talking. Okay, so it's from PlainAd5538. I think I've seen that username before. Dave should take the possible banking crisis much more seriously. He begs to differ. This week, Dave said to ignore the current banking problems because it only affects. Yeah, that's right. Credit Suisse and First Republic, did they go out of business? He's either short-sighted or just plain dumb. I don't think he's either. This was 2 months ago. I think the world is fine, except for those particular banks that went out of business. Has David said anything about MLM, multi-level marketing? I know they're a bad idea, but wanted to know if Dave has weighed in on MLM schemes or similar endeavors. Yes, he said they're a bad idea. Some of them are easy. Let's see. Baby step 4 is 15% of not deleted. Name there got too much heat. Had to delete. Maybe step 4 flares. 15 enough for a late starter. Yeah, I mean, how much? 48. Yeah, I was older than that when I started investing. So yes, 15 is enough. Poor choices, blah blah blah. Yeah. 2 kids under 5 years old. Having kids late in life, that'll do it as well. Later in life, I should say. 400 a month into 529 to hopefully avoid perpetuating the student loan trap and derail my starting line. Now they are under 5. I don't know that you need to put 400 a month into that. Going a little bit overboard on that. Let's see, 250K in retirement savings. Hopefully that is in the market and making the 10% average. But you continue to do the 15% in addition to that 250K you already have in there. Got a new job, 130K. Last year was 83 as a public employee. Okay, so began saving 15% of gross income for retirement. Okay. I plan to max my 401k, not including the company 1-to-1 match. Pretty cool. Where is it? Company 1-to-1 match up to 5%. Excellent. And that 5%, of course, is just gravy on the biscuit. That's just a bonus. You do 15% still. And Roth or traditional IRA, depending on eligibility. Spouse has public pension in 457, and we can put his entire 40K salary into the 457 less his 10% mandatory pension contribution, taxes, and health insurance premiums. Okay. 11 years, public employment, Ohio public pension of, or I could cash out the pension, cash it out, and roll it into a traditional IRA. Yep, do that. Pensions don't make as much as being in the market. So Dave would recommend that. You can do a backdoor Roth maybe every year. If, let's see, what is it? You're making 130 now. So yeah, I think you would be over the limit. So, but you could do a backdoor Roth every year. But yeah, or just throw it all into a traditional. And I mean, you're gonna be fine. $260K left on the mortgage. Are you paying it 25 years? Don't take 25 years. It should be a 15-year mortgage. Usually play a little extra toward the principal. Be intentional about playing, not do a usually thing. You're throwing everything else to the house, and that should happen before extra retirement savings. Even if you are, what was this, 48? Yeah, 48. So yeah, you get that house paid, and then you have a house, and so you don't have a mortgage. Guess what? Then retirement is a bunch easier. $4K per month, including the mortgage. So you could maybe look at the budget. Used to be a low cost of living, however, 15 square feet. Right. Luckily, I purchased our home 10 years ago before the price jumped. That is lucky. So, and you're going to work 20 more years. No, you're fine. Just pay off the house. Here's an idea. You could do the baby steps, which is invest 15% of your household income, gross household income, into retirement. And save for your children's college fund. If they're under 5, you don't need to put $400 a month, probably. You could probably drop back on that, put more of that into paying the house early, and then when you have no mortgage payment, then kids' college fund will be no problemo. And so baby steps, normally a good idea to follow. When in doubt, baby steps. The best part of watching Dave's old cryptocurrency rants, Gordon Ryans _lawyer, is seeing all these smug crypto bros calling Dave Ramsey a boomer and seeing the timestamps of all their comments are like 2 years ago. Yep, they kind of went away. Suddenly all of them are silent, maybe because their portfolio are down 30 to 70%. LMAO. Yeah. He called it, dude. He called that one. Dan 13 threat. Clarification of mortgage payment, no more than 25% of take-home pay. No, that's it. You got it. You don't need to be clarified on it. Wait, what? How can that be right? Let's see what his actual question is. When Dave recommends mortgage payment be no more than 25% of your household take-home pay, does this include expenses associated with a mortgage such as property tax and homeowner's insurance? That is the mortgage. Or strictly the mortgage payment alone. I'm asking because these are extra expenses, including my monthly mortgage payment as escrow fees, and that is very normal. That is a good question. I do not remember if that's including tax and insurance. I feel like it is, but like if it's 25 in the book Total Money Makeover, it says 25 to 35%. So even if it's 25 without that, and then it goes a little bit over with the insurance and taxes, that's not gonna be your death knell. That's not gonna kill you. Deleted. Boom, boom, boom. Disclaimer: Dave Ramsey is for entertainment purposes only. I don't think so. His LMAO advice does not work for people who live in highly taxed or extremely expensive or a combination of both places. It absolutely does work. It keeps you from being house poor. That's the cheapest house in the area you're looking for. That's your choice to live there. So let's see, even if you netted 40K, you shouldn't buy a place for more than 10K a month. According to Dave. True. That's true. Why wouldn't you? Why would you? 17K in property taxes, absolutely. Don't want to get lost in the comments there. No need. People just disagree. They think that high cost of living areas, they think that's a get out of Dave advice free card. It's not. His advice still applies. What up, Matty Bags? I would imagine most people sleeping in today, and of course I did not announce ahead of time that I would be doing this today, or did I? I think I mentioned on Friday's show, but I wasn't expecting many people in the chat anyway. So anybody is just a bonus. What am I doing here? Space Flamingo 3, very trolly in the Ramsey Show chat. Don't see that person anymore unless they're under another name in there. What would Dave do? Flair. What to do with excessive cash savings? Space Flamingo has been in this subreddit and in the Ramsey Show chat long enough to know that any extra money you put on whatever baby step you're on, you do the baby steps with that extra cash. Is there a 22? That explains a lot. Currently making 80K, contributing 20 to my. That's too much. Should be 40%. Why ask what would Dave do if you're not doing what Dave would do in any other area? Long-term goal is to buy a house. 3 to 5 years is a long-term goal. I don't think so. I guess when you're only 22, it is. $1,000 a month to so that's 1,000. That is the 20% to the 401k, I guess. No, it's not. That's in addition to. So he's doing it wrong. So why are you asking for anybody? Am I best optimizing my cash, or should I change up my strategy? And advice is appreciated. I would advise you to follow these baby steps, which have been proven to work millions of times. Millions of success stories. Let's check the old, where is it? See if the show got posted yet for today. It has not. It might be a replay today. Don't know. Smart tax to file 1040 and schedule up for farming. No, I've never done that. Currently using TurboTax only, and they keep going up on the price. Just wondering how they compare. It's probably comparable. Stories about driving like no one else. When I was 16, my dad co-signed for a car loan for me. Not advised. I did, of course, pay that entire thing off. So unlike my half brother, my parents co-signed for him to buy a wedding ring for his fiance, and he did not pay them anything back on that. So that's why you don't, and that's why they probably should have told me no, but they didn't. But I did pay that off, and that is the only new car I've ever had. All the other ones were used. Does it make sense to sell my car with positive equity to buy beater and pay off debt? 2018 Camry, appraised at around 20K. Oh, just over 10K on reliable awesome car. Generally what I tell people here, you get that car, that 2010 car for 6K. Reliable Japanese make and model, but still roughly a beater vehicle that got some years on it. 4.5 credit card bill just entered in collections. Okay, so if it's in collections, you just let it sit in collections while you pay off other debt. 5.5 credit card balance, 2K on something else, secret debt. So 7.5K. If that's it, is that it? I mean, that's up to you. Generally, like, if that's all, if you just have 7.5 K, well, I guess it's going to be 12 if you add the 4.5K into collections. But pay off this first, and then maybe you can settle that for less than that. But, excuse me. Yeah, this is a move that like will get you out of debt immediately. And so sometimes when that happens, you don't learn the lesson because you haven't really put in the work. It's fine to do this, but you got to be careful that you don't pop back into bad habits. Because of immediately being out of debt because you make a vehicle move like this. Would you be, let's see, 6K, 20K, oh, so 10, so that's only 4 different. It's only a $4,000 difference, so I would, if you like your 2018 Camry, in this kind of, generally, depending on the amount of debt owed, if that's only going to move the needle $5,000, I would generally say, how about you keep the car, the newer car that you like, and just pay it off faster. By sacrificing in another area rather than sacrificing car. So, I mean, a lot of it, you got to make sure to go through and do the complete math on it because, yeah, you don't have the 10K loan anymore, but also by the time you get that other car, you have, that's 20 minus 10 is 10, minus 6 equals 4K left to apply to debt. And so, you know, that's not nothing. And that takes out a big chunk of the 2K, which should come first. Whatever on the something else is, the secret debt. Wonder what that could be. Maybe the 41 comments are speculating as to what the 2K secret debt is, but the 2K debt should be first because it is smallest to largest in baby step 2. Reduced my spending significantly over the past. Past like this is a different word. Family doesn't like the idea and understand the risk of getting rid of a newer vehicle for an older one, right? But all this debt feels like it's weighing me down. I do have a couple thousand for repairs if needed saved. Okay, you're doing it wrong. So Doing it wrong. Save $1,000, not a couple thousand laying around for repairs. You don't do that. All that goes to debt. This one's a weird one anyway. Where is the part where reduced my spending significantly over the past 2 years and plan to continue as such, but yet somehow a 4.5K credit card bill just entered in collection. So, I mean, still, I don't really think it matters because it just moves the needle $4,000. But it does sound like you're not doing it. You're not doing the baby steps, and so I would recommend committing to and doing the baby steps, which puts that for repairs if needed, couple $1,000. That should be just $1,000, and so the rest of your savings should go towards the debt. Long distance landlord question. The answer would be no. Don't do it. Cute Freak Show is the username. Okay, Dave Ramsey experts. I can call the show, but y'all here are well prepared to answer most dilemmas, are we? What do you do when you inherit property abroad? Oh, wow. That's really long distance then. I know Dave's opinion, but the deceased had a wish that the property is not sold. Well, that goes out the window when it comes to you. Now, they did not leave anything in writing and I am the sole heir. Yeah, so that's up to your discretion then. So I can technically do whatever I wish with the property. Multiple properties to be precise, zero debt, but I feel guilty knowing the legacy of the deceased. Why not go there and move it? You don't want to live in a different country, maybe? You want to stay in the United States? Since it's several properties, renting it out with the ocean between us will be a nightmare on fire and one wheel. That's funny. Plus upkeep, then property taxes and income tax into country and possibly paying a rental agency or relatives. Yeah. And selling will produce a solid investment to live beyond it. Yeah, I wouldn't. We do wish to leave one property to have an EU hub, European Union hub, so to speak, not rent it ever. Okay, so they're going to have a vacation house, I guess. They do have relatives over there, so... But I would probably sell it. I mean, that's... I'd probably sell it, and I would have told the deceased before he or she deceased that if you leave it to me, I'm going to sell it. So it's up to you if you want to do that or not, because I'm based in the United States, and I don't want to be based here in the EU, and it is a lot of hassle, and real estate, it can easily turn from a moneymaker into a break-even to actually losing money depending on what goes wrong. So, and you're not there, you're over, ocean between us, like he said. So I am probably selling it, and you can't go back in time and tell that, but that's the kind of conversations that you have with people that might leave you stuff. Maybe you didn't know ahead of time, or you could have gotten ahead of it. But that's the way it goes. So planting some new seeds this morning. Very nice. Did I tell you? Said I threw out that plant finally. So yeah, long distance landlording. Dave says no. and you don't want to do it. That's the thing with landlording. It's such a hassle. Even if you pay a rental agency to handle your stuff, it's still a hassle. So if you don't want to do it, if you're not called to landlording, if that's not something that really excites you, do not do it. I would go ahead and sell it. Realistic _ okra 8006. What would Dave do? Give like no one else? Question mark. Yes. If you're on baby step 7, yes. One example of this be to buy someone's food at a restaurant? Yes. Or drink at a coffee shop? Yes. Should it be bigger than that? Maybe sometimes. It depends on your financial situation. To the same person in regular intervals? Could be. Do I need to know the person? No. Can it be random online? GoFundMe? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I'm this dumb, just looking for some examples. Yeah, it can take any form you want it to, giving like no one else. It can take any form you want to. It could be to a charity, something that you feel strongly about. It could be to your church. It could be going through the drive-through and paying for the person behind you. It can anything where you're paying or giving money that's included in all that. And so that's the beauty. That's the fun of baby step 7, is to figure, and you get to figure it out. You get to go do that, and that is so cool. 529 UNEST UTMA for college savings. But a UNEST account for the kids, I don't know exactly what that is. It's a UTMA. 529 also stated as a GET, Guaranteed Education Tuition Savings Program. Should I keep money? Only one case so far. Pull it and put in the 529. There is also an ESA. ESA is limited how much you can put in there, though. I believe that's the one that's limited. Or in a 529. I don't remember the differences. Oh, let's check it out. 529 versus what is it called? Not Roth IRA. What did I say it was? UTMA is the other one versus it should be in there. Roth. Looking 529. ESA. Okay, I remembered finally. For the majority of the families, the UTMA account easily makes the most sense, in contrast to 529 ESA that can only go towards qualified educational expenses. You can use the funds you invest in UTMAs for any expense that benefits the child named on the account. You may not want to do, just because it may not be used for educational expenses. So that's going to be up to the parent. So let's leave the UTMA. If that's why the UTMA would make sense. Let's go with just the ESA. 529 plans have much more generous contribution limits, right? And offer a greater degree of flexibility, except when it comes to investment options. Okay, that would be the thing with the ESA. You would have more investment options. Than the 529, you can put more into. I don't know if you can have more than one. Let's see. Can you have both ESA, ESA and 529 for the same beneficiary? So yes, let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Combined annual contribution is less than the annual gift tax exclusion amount. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. What time is it? 9:48. So that's 10:48 Eastern Time. Chill, chill, chill. Objective extent 397. What would Dave do, Flair, here? He wouldn't say where are these $500 beater cars that still have an engine, good transmission, and safe to drive. I don't know that Dave said there were any. I don't think he said there were any of those. He may have said 1,000. May have said a couple thousand. I don't think he said $500. So you're exaggerating in order to make your point. Where are they? I live in California. In California, everything is more expensive. So, but you don't get a pass for being in California. You don't get a pass on the map. Even a 98 camera with 200,000 miles is going for 4K from private sellers these days. Fine, buy one of those. Take it to a mechanic to check out first before you buy it. $1,000 cars have transmission issues, no engine, not registered. Yeah, don't buy those. Don't buy the ones that have types of issues. Have them checked out first. Easy. Does using, let's see, this from Supinator, frequent participant here in the Dave Ramsey subreddit. Baby steps 4, 5, and 6 Flair. Does using a debit card instead of a credit card prevent bad financial decisions, or does it just limit how bad those financial decisions can be? It limits it because it doesn't put you into debt. A debit card uses your money instead. So that's the difference there. What? I don't know. You ought to know that. Credit card is debt. The debit card comes out of your account, so that has money in it already, and so that limits the damage. You can still spend the same amount and still spend it on something stupid, but you're not going into credit card. Okay, let's read it. Why not? Why not? Say someone has a spending problem and is going to credit card debt. If they had a debit card instead with no other intentional behavioral changes, would they intuitively spend less? Or do they have an equivalent risk of having their bank account going to zero and not being able to pay rent, mortgage? They may not. It depends. Depends on the person whether that makes a difference to them. They may not see it any differently. They may not care. They may want what they want when they want it, and they just swipe the card, whether it's a debit card or credit card. They may just do that, even though they know they have to pay for the mortgage. It depends on the person. There's no everybody would act like this. There's none of that. Now the studies are just that people pay more or buy more. They spend more money with plastic instead of with cash. That's the studies. I don't know if there's one on debit card versus credit card or not, but I would tend to believe that people would spend more using a credit card as opposed to a debit card. New around here, this is from left_catch1092. Thank you for trying to edit it. Thank you for your support. Appreciate your input. I feel energized to get this done. Excellent. Well, let's find out what it was. I'm a 49-year-old single mom of 2 college-age kids and beginning baby step 2 debts. The biggest of which is heat loan for mini split install. All right, $67K student loans. $60,000 parent student loans due after kiddo graduates. Wow. Hopefully you're making a lot of money. Education, school principal. Okay, so I don't believe that personal student loan because benefits me for the probably not. Income-based repayment. But I've written a budget, have some saved, 6K. You do the baby steps on that. Yep, leaving $1,000 for baby step 1 and setting aside enough for the tax bill. I have enough to wipe the heat 11 out, freeing up another 107 months toward the student loan. If that's your lowest debt, then yes. So you set aside the money for that, the tax bill, and then the heat loan. Yeah, okay. Great. Have little time and energy to get additional job, being a principal all time consuming and under contract for the summer. For my salary, just because you're under contract for your salary, I mean, does that mean you got to go in every day and put in as many hours? If you don't, then summer would be the time to get an additional job. And that's how you add to the snowball, by working extra, selling anything. You say you don't have anything to sell, look around again, look again at the budget. Can I make it to baby step before I retire? Maybe. It depends on what you do. Should I create a sinking fund for car replacement now, since my car is running great but is 11 years old at this point? I don't want to hold. No, you don't have a sinking fund for car replacement. In baby step 2, now you pay off your debt. And you run that bad boy into the ground. So yeah, again, baby steps is the answer. Baby steps adjusted for inflation. No. Do you adjust your budget for inflation? Do you adjust your, your employee adjust your pay for inflation? People like insist on doing more math than they need to. Inflation has made $1,000 more than double since the early 90s. Okay, so right when Dave first made the baby steps, yes, about in there. What other numbers parameters should be adjusted, and like how much? None of them. Like, for example, how much to put down for a house, or how much take home should be on rent or mortgage. None of them should be adjusted. It should still be 25% on for rent or mortgage. The amount to put down is still 10% for a first-time home buyer. 20% is better because then you don't pay the PMI. But yeah, $1,000. Dave recently said it about 5-6 weeks ago from the live Ramsey show from their new event center. When Dave did work on a Friday, he said it wasn't enough 30 years ago, and it's not supposed to be enough. But baby steps don't need to be adjusted for inflation. Your thought process needs to be adjusted for inflation. And how do you handle inflation? Is you try to make more money, so you make more money on that. Work more, spend less, and there you go. It's not gonna be solved with your calculator. It's gonna be solved with hard work. Let's. I'm sorry. I do plan on dying on a stream at some point. Credit card does cause less pain than debit card. Because debit card, you see your account balance go down. Says Sid. The only number that you could argue adjusting is baby step 1, but the point is a band-aid, not a cure. That is certain. Is it time to move up in car? Almost certainly no. Ethan 71155. Parents got me a F-150 truck with 150,000 miles on it when I was 16. It has been good to me for 8 years. What's the problem? Oh, it failed. The alternator died. Alternator is nothing. Replace it. Oh, other problems too, such as slow coolant length. The ABS light is on. That is, what is it? Automotive balancing system or something like that. That's for tire balancing. Cruise control doesn't work. Wah. It sounds like it still works. Also have no reason to own a truck and it feels like a waste of gas money. Also rather have an SUV. See, it's always something like that. It's not okay, I'm gonna sell this truck and get what I can for it and then replace it with just some other, some junky used car. No, I'd rather have an SUV than a truck. It's than, THAN. Do not confuse Aubrey. Have enough issues with that. Where are we? Also, I'd rather have an SUV than, THAN, a truck for vacation purposes. A vacation, how many times a year are you going on vacation? And so you change the vehicle you get based on a one-time-a-year thing. Ridiculous. All right, 65K noted. Accept the house. Excellent. Should have 7,500 by next month, even after the repairs. Okay, so you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it repaired and then sell it for more money. If after the repairs, it's gonna cost. You can only sell it for $4,000. How much are the repairs? And maybe you don't sell it for repairs. Maybe you just sell it for less than that and let somebody else repair it. Anyway, that would put me at 11.5. If I shop around on Facebook, you should be able to find a 2015 or 2016 Honda CR-V. Got a specific model picked out. 100,000. My biggest problem with this plan is I wipe out my savings. Yeah. No debt except the house. Well, I mean, the next step would be for full emergency fund. Is that in addition to emergency fund or not? Or is that your emergency fund? If that's your emergency fund, you don't use that to buy a car all of a sudden. If you're repairing the truck, drive the truck. Another option, I could just drive my truck into the ground. Yep, have liability only insurance on it, approved. And its maintenance has been really cheap in the past. I could just drive it until the engine or transmission goes out and scrap it. Yeah, then get my nice 1100 to 1300 SUV. Really set on the SUV there. See, this is where people get in trouble. This is where, I mean, he doesn't have any debt, so it's a little bit more leeway. But, I'm not seeing a $5,000 car here. Let's see, biggest problem with this plan is I might start getting hit with 700 repair bills over and over again. That could happen with anything. It could happen with the truck. That could happen with any vehicle. Update. It was in fact my truck alternator, and the repair will be $580. New alternator and fix a battery terminal. I'll keep on driving my truck until at least 15,000 saved. Then I'll buy my 1100 2015 Honda CR-V. I love guys like this. After 2 months of driving it, I'll sell my truck for $4,500. How can you sell your truck for more? Because under these repairs, the alternator wasn't gonna. I don't get it. But anyway, I love these guys because he's like, I'll then buy my 2015, 2016 Honda CR-V. It's not yours until you buy it. So, but that's guys would often do that in the World of Warcraft when they would be trying to get their helm, which is a particular drop from a certain boss. That the boss could drop gear for any particular class. And so you're not guaranteed. You can run it 100 times and not get it. So calling it it's not yours until you get it. Same as the market. Let's look at the S&P 500. I am repeating myself. I've done this before. Let's look at the max. And let's look at the 5 years. Easier. Okay. So Pandy crash. So the high before the Pandy crash, February 14th. And then the Pandy crash. Unless you cashed out right there, none of that money is yours. And it goes down to here. You didn't lose that money because it's not yours until cash out time. So you don't lose any or you don't make any. So this growth is great. It's not yours until you cash out though, because it could drop just like that. So you can't say, a lot of people though, they feel like that. It's like, oh, your account is down, yes, but you didn't lose any money. And if you've been at it for more than a few years, then it should still be up no matter how much it drops. It should still be up from when you started. So that's just weird to me. That's just one of the little things that I have an issue with people saying. Much like grammar and spelling and stuff. But the guy is his main focus is the SUV and not getting ahead financially or anything like that. That's not it. He just wants a SUV. Baby six player, paying off mortgage early. Tall order. Thanks for all the update. Thanks for all the feedback. We've discussed it. We'll continue to make our 15-year minimum payments on the 2.35 mortgage, but we'll redirect all additional payment funds into our 3.4 HSA, a high yield savings account. We'll pay off the mortgage even quicker as a lump sum using this strategy. Okay. So as you can see, this makes 3.4. You're doing 2.375 on the mortgage. That is a difference of 1.125. 1.1. Okay, so 1.1% difference on whatever amount of money that you're putting in the high yield savings account. That's nothing. That's nothing. You'd be better off putting that money onto the mortgage and paying that off as quickly as possible rather than trying to save for that in a separate account with the interest rate that is 1.1% more than the interest on the mortgage. Let's see, we all know the math problem with not investing your extra cash and enjoying compounding long term. Yeah, well, that's not a math problem. That's a you understanding problem. Not enough people talk about risk mitigation and why carrying debt is so dangerous and less desirable than being totally debt free. Exactly. So that is why the mortgage is debt, and so you want to get rid of that as soon as possible. This little plan here does not make it happen sooner. Promise you. We'll pay off the mortgage even faster as a lump sum using this strategy. I don't think so. By the time you figure in the interest you're still being charged while you let this accumulate, I think it's pretty much going to even out. Alrighty, this from Loon Lope. I can get 1.3K a month home if I have a 100K salary in Washington based on Dave's advice, right? Okay. Let's say a person makes 100K in high cost of living area like Washington, for example. That's not going to work generally. If you want an expensive house, no. Take home income will be 77K each month. Person take home pay would be around 5.4. With Dave's advice, 25% would be around 1.35K a month. To summarize, if you're making 100K in a high cost of living area, you will have to live with 1.3K month home payment or less, either through roommates or in order to live well throughout your lifespan based on Dave's guidance. Yes. You have to make high cost of living money in order to live in a high cost of living area. And if you want more than a 1.3K house payment, then you need to make more money than that. Simple as that. You don't get a pass on the math just because you live on one of the coasts. Just because you live in a high cost of living area, that does not give you a pass on the math. The math still applies. What time is it? I'll do a look. Let's see if that Ramsey show, where'd it go? If that's posted for today. No, doesn't look like it. I'll go a little while longer. Michi the Cleaner, seen that name before. Matt, Baby Step 2 Flare. Credit cards are the worst invention ever. Yep, what we think of getting ahead pushes you back from your goal and grinding up on finishing up a 7K debt down for 25K. Excellent. And interest on purchases, cash advance, interest comes in and slows down the momentum. Yep. Granted, is a small account. So credit cards, 7K will be done in a month and a half. I'll never use credit card again. Excellent. Is there a way to buy FPU from the Canadian? No, I think you got to ask a friend in the U.S. if they can gift it to you, right? Receive the code and good to go. I believe so. I believe you can, as long as you have the code, I believe you can do that. Although I believe when the person buys it, it makes it their membership, but I mean, they can give you the access to it, I believe. Different Wallaby 10. Estate planner versus Mama Bear versus other online will trust maker. Mama Bear is for simple wills. So if you need if you're talking estate planner level, Mama Bear probably not going to cut it. Also, online will trust maker, you're gonna let them handle that. If you even say the word estate planner, you should be willing to pay somebody that you can talk to in person about that. Let's see, they own their home but do not have any other money outside. They live in a different state. I'm there only living there. THEIR. Hashtag third grade. They desire to leave their home to another relative. I'm in agreement with that. Great. Reason my parents don't have a will is the same reason they have never prepay on their funerals. They simply don't like to face issues like that. I have no other explanation. I think part of it is THEIR. No, they. In this case, it is THEY''RE. They are. Contraction. There. Hashtag third grade. Just embarrassed to speak to anyone about their lack of assets. Well, yeah, I mean, that's dumb, but so far I've been successful at getting them to visit with a estate planner. So my question is, should I use something like Mama Bear or the other online wills or trust? There are, you're out of state. I wouldn't, they're not leaving anything to you, I don't think. So I wouldn't worry about it. Why worry about it? I mean, especially if you talk to them. They are adults. They're adults. It doesn't matter that they're in their 80s. It doesn't matter. They're people. They're adults. You're an adult. They don't like to hear parents, powder butt syndrome. They don't like getting advice on money or sex from somebody whose diaper you changed. I get that. But how about hashtag boundaries, paging Dr. Cloud. Why don't you just say, hey, you should get a will and plan this stuff out with the house that you're gonna leave to not even me, somebody else. So and be done with it. Why can't that be it? I don't know. I mean, you could set up something on an online thing, but again, why are you getting involved? Since you don't seem to be like in the transactions that will happen, it doesn't seem like you'll be directly involved. So, mention it to them, say they should do that, and then you can be out of it. You can mention to the person that is going to inherit the house. You can tell them, and then let it be the rest of their problems, and it's not your problem. What is the most optimal year car to purchase? It's not a question. It's a question, definitely, but there's no answer for that. There's no like, definitely get one only 4 years old for best results. There's not a thing like that. David stated a bunch of cars depreciate 63% of the value in the first 5 years. Yep. If I wanted to buy a newer car for cash to get the longest, most optimal use out of it, yeah, there's not. I don't think there's not. It's going to vary from car to car. Of course, brand, but for this question, I'm asking only terms. If you want to limit it to depreciation, it's possible you could work out the math for that, maybe, but the problem is that there's not only depreciation involved in it, there's other things like repairs and such. So that's the kind of thing. I'm an overthinker. I can appreciate it. Everything, like when people like try to go off onto unnecessary tangents on stuff like that. I've done that myself. But when it's things that I just don't understand why you would even go there, I do not get it. Dan13 Threat has posted another one. When to refinance a balloon mortgage? I would say as soon as possible, definitely before the balloon payment is due. And how you just do a refinance on it. Churchill Mortgage, Dave recommends. What would Dave do? And the balloon is like you have low payments throughout the life of it, and then at a certain date, a really big payment is due. And so you would want to refinance before that if at all possible. The advice would be to not get one like that. You get just a regular mortgage loan, fixed rate. TVA variant. Can't get past TV step 1. If you're having issues with that, then you need to do something drastic to get over the hump. I am ready to start tackling our debt. Our debt is the other part of our ready to start tackling it too. That makes a big difference. With a vengeance, as Dave would say, but my wife thinks it's stupid and irresponsible to only have $1,000 emergency fund and throw all of our money at paying off our credit cards and car loan. Okay, and what I'm going to say is, how much do you have an emergency fund now? Probably not even that. Normally, normally people don't have even $1,000 in savings. And then they want to critique the $1,000 and say it's not enough. That's stupid. Anyway, throwing all our money and paying off our credit card. Well, on one hand, I agree that $1,000 seems a bit low. It's not supposed to be enough to make you feel comfortable. It's supposed to be enough to take care of small problems. So that doesn't completely, or small problems don't completely derail you and keep you from putting it on a credit card. For young children at home, take care of. I suggest having $1,000 per person. 6K as our emergency fund, but she still thinks it should be much higher, like the full 3 to 6 months worth of baby steps. Which would put it at around 25K. Currently, I'm about 23K. Oh, so they do have a lot. Okay, well. That's different than 8K credit card, 32 car loan I want to pay off. I think we can at least agree to pay off the credit card right away and have 15% left over, but she doesn't want to drain her savings to pay down her car. Okay, well, doesn't sound like she's going to do Dave Ramsey's advice. So work out a compromise with her then. Can't work out a compromise? Counseling. And this from Jar Jar Awakens. Very nice. Star Wars reference. Is it okay to get a car loan on a cheap, there we go, used car if you are just starting out, or your new job is pretty high paying, you have no other debt, and you don't have a car? Wait a minute. Read this one more time. Is it okay to get a car loan on a cheap used... Oh, no, it's not okay to get a car loan ever on a cheap used car if you're just starting out with a new job. It's pretty high pay. You have no other debt and you don't have a car. No. As part of the old Baby Step 0, which is a video coming soon on that. The missing baby steps, which would be 3B, down payment, and baby step 0, what you do before you start the baby steps. And so that's part of baby step 0 is where you decide that debt isn't going to be an option anymore. You don't add to the debt. You're only paying it off here in the early going. So no, it's never okay to get a car loan. Well, except if you're replacing a higher loan with a smaller loan that you need to pay off the car, the difference between, being when you're underwater in it. Like if you can only sell it for 15K and you own the 18K on it, so you need a $3,000 car loan. Dave is fine with you replacing a $15,000 loan or $18,000 loan with a $3,000 loan. Because that is basically paying off 15K right there. Okay, so no, it's not. Basically, this is what happened to me, and I want to know if I should give different advice to friends in similar situation. Yes, you did it wrong. First pay for down payment for $11,000 car. Okay, and paid it off within a year. Yeah, that's great. You paid it off within a year, but what about other debt? Oh, no other debt, it said. I knew it would be good for paying. I did it because I knew it would be good for paying it off. What does that mean? I knew I would be good for paying it off. Oh, yeah, well, the problem is you justified that debt, and so you could have at any point during that justified other debt, so... Lived under means, kept the car long term, didn't want to risk car breaking or the hassle of moving up in car and a few months later. My plan was all subsequent cars would be paid for in cash. Why not this one too? All cars would be kept on. Alright, well, yeah, it's not okay to do that. If you're going to follow, it's okay if you want to do that. It's your money, you can do whatever you want, but it's not part of the baby steps. Not Dave's advice. So if you want to follow Dave's advice, no, it's not okay. If you want to do what you want to do, anything is okay. Autistic Jimmy, 2251, episode 9. All right. Rise of Skywalker. I was listening to the Ramsey show about a week or two ago, so this was 3 months ago, so 2.5 months ago or so, and they mentioned hashtag, which was what I think was episode 9. Apparently they spoke in depth about when and how to use your social security number and stuff, and more importantly to me, when you don't have to use it. I can't find this episode online anywhere. Doesn't have a link to it. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know about any episode 9. No. Oh, use your social security number for stuff, and more important than me, when you don't have to use it. That sounds like that might be a fine print episode, perhaps, by George Camel. Maybe. Let's see if anybody answered that. That's what I'm thinking. Come on. Come on. Come on. Uh-oh. Is my internet's gone? Come on. There we go. Episode 9 of Fine Print with George Camel. Might be it. Or driving on. Show episode or FPU episode. Maybe one. Maybe it could be the 9th lesson. Maybe. One or the other. Fine print or FPU lesson 9. Cool. Oh, I refreshed, so it went back to the beginning. Oh, let's see, what time is it? Maybe else. What's it? 11:24. Bum. See if the Ramsey show got posted. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't seem like it did for today. Nope. It would take me a while to get back to later ones that I haven't done before, and I want to save the new ones in case I do an after show this evening after the Ramsey show video is over, which is the plan, and that would happen right after, and so that would be 6 p.m. Eastern time is when that would happen, 5 p.m. Central, and so I guess I'll call that a show. Once again, this would be the Baby Steps, Dave Ramsey Baby Steps. That's all based on this. And that's the dealio, folks. Let's pull up the, which you guys can't see, the Streamlabs, where I manage the whole thing. I'm Coach Steve Money, and I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. You can do that if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track. Again, calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. There's a handy dandy link right in the on the right side of that green YouTube banner there. And that says, what does that say? That says schedule free consultation, and that will take you right there to do that. Now, if you just have questions about that coaching or anything else Ramsey or anything else on my YouTube channel, you can email me at CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. You can have me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. Of course, this YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. Thank you so much for watching. Check for possible after show Memorial afternoon. And again, that would be 6 p.m. Eastern time, right after the Ramsey show for today ends. Make smart financial decisions every day.